What are the most important elements of your home studio and how do you choose them wisely? In this video I'm showing you the 5 essential components that every aspiring home studio owner should have. Also, you will get to know which gear I'm using right now and what I would recommend. Coming up right now. Hey people, welcome to No Gimmicks. I'm your host Paul Hauss and I'm helping you to create awesome music today. So here are my 5 components that everybody should have in the home studio. Number 1, computer and hard drives. Obviously you need a computer that has enough power to handle the audio processing you're planning to do. In general, a fast CPU, a lot of RAM and fast hard drives is something you should definitely consider when buying a new computer. In my experience, it's an advantage if you let an external hard drive through a fast connection handle the audio files. In my case, I'm using an iMac 27-inch with an external SSD through a Thunderbolt connection. And I've listed you all that specific gear in the description below if you like to look it up. So for example, if I get a song for mixing, I stream all the audio files from an external hard drive, whereas all programs and applications are running on my operating hard drive. Using your system drive alone may bring you performance problems that you can completely avoid by using an external hard drive, like this. And then of course there's Mac versus PC, but we're not going into this debate right now. When it comes to music production, this debate is quite overplayed in my opinion. You need to understand that in the end they are just both computers. There's not a preferred brand for music making. Number 2, DAW. The truth is, all of these programs will do the same thing. The difference lies simply in how they do it. And this again is also depending on the operating system that you use. For example, I have been a long Logic user because I'm using a Mac and the integration really is flawless and it runs very smoothly. But this year I switched over to Studio One for mixing, whereas I'm still using Logic for producing. The main benefits of Studio One in my opinion is the drag and drop workflow actually helps your mix really fast. Really smart layout for recording, mixing and editing. All in all, it just helps me to stay creative and work fast. The reality though is that you should use the DAW that you feel most comfortable with when it comes to the workflow. And you might not want to learn a different one if you already know a specific DAW by heart. In the end, we all just want to bang out great music. No music consumer is interested in the software that was used to creating his or her favorite song. Number 3, audio interface. The main question you need to ask yourself when picking out an interface is how many inputs and outputs do I need? I've used a couple of interfaces, Focusrite, RME and now Universal Audio. Those brands I could really recommend. RME is well known for its amazing drivers with great latency. If you're on a Mac, you might also want to look into Apogee interfaces. So why did I choose this UAD Apollo interface? First of all, I'd like to use UAD plugins. If you're not planning on using them, there are less expensive possibilities. What's cool about it is though that it has a built-in DSP, so it can process the plugins within this unit. Also, I really like its preamp and the ability to record audio while monitoring UAD plugins. You can even record plugins on the fly. As if you would have the hardware unit sitting in your vocal chain, for example. It's connected through Thunderbolt, which will give you a super fast connection. You could also buy the USB 3 version if you're on a PC. Number 4, microphones. So first of all, we have to distinguish between 2 types of microphones. Dynamic and condenser microphones. These are commonly used in a home studio environment. Let's look at both of the microphone types and what their advantages are and their disadvantages. So first of all, condenser microphones. These are most common types of microphones you will find in studios. They have a much greater frequency response and transience response, which is the ability to reproduce the speed of any instrument or voice. They also generally have a louder output, but are much more sensitive to loud sounds. They require the use of a power supply, generally a 48 volt phantom power. Generally speaking, you will want a large diaphragm condenser microphone if you record vocals at home. Recommendations would be the Rode NT1, it goes for $150, for a small budget, and the Neumann TL102, which goes for around 500 USD. Dynamic microphones don't require their own power supply, like condenser microphones. They tend to be less expensive, but the sound quality is generally not as accurate. Most dynamic microphones have a limited frequency response. Shure SM57, like this, and the Shure SM58 are legendary for not only their good sound quality, but the amount of abuse they can withstand. I'm using this Shure SM7B microphone to record my tutorials or rap vocals. It's a classic mic that's widely used in radio stations all over the world, and that has been also used to record the Thriller album by Michael Jackson. Number 5. Monitors and headphones. When you're mixing the song, you want it to sound amazing on different speakers. On hi-fi speakers, in your living room, in the car, on your iPhone, on laptop speakers, and so on. Not only on your speakers at home or on your headphones. In other words, you want to make sure that the monitor you're listening to is not lying to you, but has a pretty flat frequency curve, so make sure your monitor sounds very flat or neutral. This way the reproduced sound doesn't get colored. However, if your room is not treated acoustically, you can use the best monitors in the world, and they would color the sound accordingly to your room notes. So how big should your studio monitor be? If you can afford it, try to get something with a 6-inch to 8-inch woofer on it. I found that these tend to reproduce enough low-end information to provide reliable, accurate mixes. I really wouldn't go any smaller than that, as low frequencies wouldn't be reproduced. I'm using the Eve Audio SC208 here. They have an 8-inch woofer and onboard DSP system for adjusting the speakers to your room. They have a pretty flat frequency curve, and the lows and highs really don't sound overhyped. I also have a Yamaha HS8 here, which is a more budget-friendly alternative. In my opinion, you really get the best bang for your buck with these in this price range. As far as headphones go, I swear by my AKG 701s. I've been using them for nearly 10 years now, and they are pretty rock solid reference headphones. And if you would like to look up any of this equipment I just mentioned, please have a look in the description. And consider subscribing if you like this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.